We're back again with Dean Silvester. He's going through all his techniques for the year. This time we're at Boondooma.
Yeah, mate.
This is when you really started making a run for the championship.
Yep.
I know you did a little bit of fly there. We actually came out and watched you and got some great stills of you fishing there, but you also fished the tail spinner from Norris as well, haven't you?
Yep. Mate, Boondooma for me was, well, I think for everyone, it was a tough event. It was a bit
Absolutely.
of a mind challenge sort of thing. You were looking at fish all the time on the sounder. It didn't matter. There was Pelican Point, there was Leeser Gangs, any of those spots. There's always fish there. So it's sort of, you get guys, you don't normally talk to each other about what's going on, but you'd be 50 metres and say, hey, you getting a bite? And nah, everyone's shaking their head.
The guys were really close together. We had almost a fog delay at the start. So it was really heavy. Guys could only travel out slow. So,
yep.
And people were still adapting to the 7-hour period as well. So
yeah, that's right.
It would have made it a little bit tougher. What exactly did you do? What sort of gear did you use for that event?
Well, mate, I started off with, because I was schooled up, I did a couple of pre-fishes up there.
Yep.
And I tried plastics and those sorts of things, and like a mask, like a typical Boondooma bait, and got occasional bites and taps, but they weren't that interested, so moved on to more of a reaction style of lure. So I went with a Norris tail spinner, and the bigger style blades as well.
Yep.
And when all those failed, I think the final day, they weren't interested in reaction. They'd had boats on them for probably 3 days, pressuring them, so we just went back, right, we'll go back to something small, something quiet, and that's when we went back to the fly to get my last couple of fish. But yeah, like
basically you're fishing a spin outfit here.
Yep.
The Ecogear again with the Dobbins match. What exactly are you fishing there?
Mate, well, like I said before, I run this is an XO 25. I used to fish 15s, like the smaller reels, but I've since upgraded to the 25s. I've got more purchase on them if I need to, and you can back the drag off obviously if you don't need to. I like to run the tail spinners on a heavier, stiffer rod, so you can draw, and the bite is always at the top of your lift. And if you've got a softer rod when you go to strike, it's obviously not going to be that good on it.
It's too hard to set the hook, absolutely. Yeah. If you're already up there, it's actually hard to get the hook into them, that's right. Yep.
So this is a Dobbins Champion Extreme, but it's a 703. Yep. So it's the higher end of their scale for weight range. This is anywhere from 8 to 17 pound. Yep. So you can really put a lot of hurt on them, but it's more about when you do that long, high draw, just at the top you get that tap, and you want a stiff rod so you don't have to just flick your wrist and you lock into them. But they are a reaction lure, and when you lift them, you get that spinning of the blade, like a spinnerbait type thing, which revs them up, and then as it's falling, with the tail on the back, it falls fairly slow. Yep. I think they sit there and it's in their face, and they just get that aggression, and they have to do something about it. And the bites on this, they're either they hit at 100 miles an hour, or they'll just tap the blade, and that's when you really need to be on your game so you can feel that bite and set the hook.
Yep. Okay. So what sort of line were you using there for that tournament?
Mate, on my spin gear I always run the Yamatoyo, so that's resin sheller again, same as I run on my bait cast. Got a hard outer shell for such a thin braid, so that's 11 pound. And then with the spins, I don't go any higher or lower than 8 pound. I pretty much run the 8 pound Yamatoyo on all my stuff when it's spin. And yeah, I find that the hard shell on this stuff's the same. I can run it through the timber or whatever, and it's nice and strong.
We caught up with Dean earlier. He went through the technique, refined it down. So if you have a look at this, you'll get an understanding of exactly how he goes through it.
Yeah, Boondooma event for me, and I think everyone, was a tough event. A bit of when they play tricks on your mind, there was, everywhere you went in the normal spots there was fish, so you'd sit on fish the whole time trying different techniques and trying to work out how to get into bites. So I think I had 3 or 4 eagles for the event, and they're all on a different technique. So one of my consistent ones is a tail spinner, and I think just the fluttering of the blade is enough that it slowly falls in front of their face, and because there's so many of them, you're always in front of a fish, and they just can't resist it. But similar to a plastic or a mask, like you chuck it out on the flats, let it hit the bottom, but I let it hit the bottom under a tight line so that the line's actually under the water as well. Just a straight, swift lift, make sure you can feel it spin. keep the rod high, and then wait for it to hit the bottom. But normally on the way down, on the drops when they take it, and you've really got to strike it when they hit it. They come up and tap on the blades or flick the body or whatever, but as soon as you feel anything, you just got to give it a quick flick, otherwise you miss them. It's a very similar technique to a mask, but you don't hop it as such, you just lift it to draw it up. As soon as this lure lifts off the bottom, you can feel that blade spinning around. It's really what the fish are after.
Check us out at bassaustralia.com.au.